UTC 40, setting 68. 5th Jerusalem. Salvator Faxon, Conference Hall. This is absurd, Yuri. You can't expect me to work with that. Cathedral is the best we've got.
You know, well, I do not possess functional legs. Even with the technology I have, the architecture is not conducive to my work. It is covered in stairs. This is not something that can be entrusted to aliens. Even the 100 series. And this building was already ancient when lost Jerusalem was lost. Who even knows if its construction remains sound? After the damage it sustained in the Omega system, the idea that relativity would have caused you to become young again is preposterous. Even supposing some inconceivable quantum anomaly were to reverse the age of the materials that constitute you, you'd remain a relic of a bygone era whose significance is forgotten by the world as it exists today. No, I watched you fail to protect your patriarch from the Vector android and its cohort! Now with the poor little chapel look, forget it. I'm a man of science, being subjected to emotional blackmail by a church. I cannot stand for this Uriv! Enough bickering, I've a splitting headache as is. And have you regained the use of your legs, Sellers, to speak of standing against me? You know I've all but consolidated total hold over the Federation government. Or do you wish to crawl back to Margulis and what's left of UT after all? Like a beaten dog, missing its master again. No, that won't be necessary, Uriv. Without this relic and the Salvator faction's support, we won't be able to complete the Merkaba or Omega Resnove! Wise! Your snide remarks are unappreciated, Cathedral. I expect the two of you to cooperate, and I expect you to stay on schedule. Surely you know the consequences you do will bring if you don't. Yuri, don't expect me to tolerate this glorified totem pole's impudence beyond the minimum necessary. Silence, Cathedral. Your attitude is becoming tiresome. In any case, Sellers, I expect nothing more from you than your usual, that you will strive to surpass the madman Mizrahi. The man who took your legs from you, and Cathedral. Consider this, you never had legs yourself to begin with. That's something you too can build on, isn't it? How neither of you can walk. I am Sellers, the last visionary left in either Federation or Ormus. In this whole Gnosis-ridden galaxy at this point, Omega Merkaba Zohar emulators. If these are within the reach of my potential, then lost world architecture can't stump me. Cooperating with that is only a matter of sentiment. It is settled. Proceed as planned, do not attempt to reach me in the meanwhile. A salvated agent will be our point of contact for now. Fetch my coat, Mary. We leave to meet the contact subcommittee. Leaving so soon, no time for old friends.
Master's not available to continue this conversation anymore. He is attending to a very important matter. Goodbye. Click.
For a monument to savage superstitions, you do have a sharp-wit cathedral. You remind me of... I suppose I shouldn't say. A low blow, I trust you've arranged your transport to the Merkaba. Why am I even surprised? The galaxy's last scientist with any vision. And they saddle me with this. Building an upper atmosphere catapult for a Gothic cathedral before we can even begin. Mizrahi must be laughing at me in hell, seeing this. Ever the ironist, aren't you, for a rotting old church? Alas, let us get to work. Will they? Won't they? A bond transcending fate and being eternally reforms. A chaotic constant ever tracked by the compass of order. Do you think a love between a madman and a church can bloom even in the shadow of Zarathustra? The romantic space opera no one needed comes soon to a kinoplex near you. XENOSAGA episode 2.5. The Doctor's Strange Love, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Flying Buttresses, Cathedral Cellars.
Abandoned Earth and colonized distant space, finding himself alone. But for the besieging trans-dimensional beings, unbound by any law of physics, whose touch turns men into pillars of salt, known as GNOSIS. One man and one building must find a way to stand tall without legs and save the universe. Sellers and the cathedral just can't get along. He's a paraplegic and the cathedral is not wheelchair accessible.
But when his Merkaba malfunctions,
in military trials in the orbit of 5th Jerusalem, only one architectural marvel salvaged from the immigrant fleet has what the maddest scientist needs most to make it spin, fire its world, annihilate it in beams, and learn to vibe with the autistic boy called Abel, the lower domain observation terminal for an upper domain being known as Zuzu. Together with their patron, the ruthless Dmitry Yuriev, they will try to bring to heel the higher domain being, threatening to end our universe. The illustrious Dr. Segers must build a ram to make his heavenly chariot access
lost my mentor, shot out my kneecaps. On that tragic day, I never thought I could ever learn to feel again. But since we met, I know that I still can. Coming Valentine's Day. TC 4769. XENOSAGA Episode 2.5 Cathedral Cellars. The Doctor's Strange Love, or how I learned to stop worrying and love the flying buttresses. If only we'd met in a less apocalyptic time, Cathedral. No. This is the only time there is. Our time. And ours alone. This winter, in a kinoplex on 5th Jerusalem, near you. A love story no one needed, that you won't soon forget. Rated PG-13.